The Dhangar community. Nomadic shepherds, traversing vast expanses and terrains, seeking favorable conditions as a way of life. No different from the diverse wildlife. Heavily reliant on a once thriving interdependency that is now in peril. Hidden from the current wake of sustainability, nomads have been living examples of symbiotic life through all of history, and yet they're hardly valued.
How do some of the lesser known species, things like jackals, foxes, jungle cats, how are they using their landscapes, and what are the challenges that they are facing in adapting to some of the changes that they're seeing in the environment? The use of technology to understand how animals move. We wanted to track animals in human-dominated landscapes.
पैर निकाल के भाग गए.
This is a species that we know nothing about.
एक पिल्लू म्हणजे जे आम्ही इतके दिवस ऑब्झर्व करतोय आणि इट्स अबाउट टू गो नाव. सो त्याच्या आधीचे ते डिस्ट्रेस कॉल्स नाही ऐकू शकत.
CDV has been around for a very long time.
In CDV, mortality is almost 100%.
यामध्ये सगळ्यात पहिले अल्फा मेलची डेथ झालेली आम्हाला बातमी कळाली. त्यानंतर डायरेक्ट एक दिवस रेस्क्यू कॉल आला.
And then he was getting seizures, and he had 2 seizures, and then at the second one he perished. It's a horrible death, and especially when you're talking about species like wolves that are already threatened in this landscape, every single one counts.
Most poisoning cases that happen in the case of wolves and other carnivores go unnoticed as they are highly underreported, and the incidents fail to fall under the umbrella of national parks. Under this project, the Grasslands Trust team first identified sites of poultry dumps frequented by carnivores with the help of camera traps provided by WTI. Once the sites were fixed, random collection of poultry carcasses was done, and these samples were then sent to the lab for toxicology testing. One of the samples showed traces of folate. The Grasslands Trust team is currently engaged in sensitization initiatives to educate local people, especially poultry farm owners, with the district SPCA and other government departments to take preventive actions to avoid more poisoning cases in the near future.
Although wolves live in highly human-dominated landscapes, very less information is available on them. Attaching GPS collars on the animals is the only source of getting authentic data. After that, traps were set at the most suitable sites. In the 3 phases of collaring, 8 wolves from different parts of Maharashtra were collared and released. The wolf is the soul of our grasslands, the apex predator in the ecosystem. What we need is concrete policy for its conservation if we don't want it to go the bastard way.
आम्हाला असं वाटतं का हा प्राणी नकोय बा आमच्यापाशी. हा प्राणी नकोय, आम्हाला भीती.
त्यांना पकडून त्यांचे अभयारण्य भरपूर आहेत, तिकडे न्यावा बा. असं इकडे माणसामध्ये ठेवून उपयोग नाही. आम्ही कामं कशी करायची, काय खायचं आम्ही.
किंवा मग असं एक समजा जंगलात सोडत्या त्या एखाद्या अभयारण्यामध्ये, जेणेकरून ते बाहेर येणार नाही बा.
तर आता माणसाचा वावर आणि बिबट्याचा वावर एकदम जवळ आलेत. वस्ती वाढत जाते तसा कचरा वाढतो की लगेच मोकाट फिरणारी कुत्री आणि डुकरं वाढतात. त्यामुळं बिबट्याला आयतं खाणं उपलब्ध झालं ना.
हा ऊसात राहण्याचं कारण असं, ऊसात सहज कोणी जात नाही. ऊसाला पाणी जरी भरायचं असलं तर कडाने बांधाने पाणी लावून देणे. जो शेतकरी तो मध्ये जात नाही आणि त्याला निवांत झोपायला जागा मिळते ना.
Conservation of our grasslands is important if we are to meet our climate change goals. India has committed to restore 26 mega hectares of degraded land by 2030. Additionally, under the Paris Climate Agreement, India pledged to sequester 2.5 to 3 billion tons of carbon equivalent. The common belief is that forests are great at storing carbon, but forests store carbon mostly in above-ground biomass, such as leaves and woody stems. One wildfire can prove devastating, releasing all the stored carbon back into the atmosphere. In contrast, the grasslands store 81% of their carbon below the ground. The carbon fixed below ground remains in the roots and soil even during fires, making grassland ecosystems more efficient as a carbon sink. It is time to recalibrate our perceptions of these unique and thriving ecosystems. The lives of endangered species and the livelihoods of millions of people depend on us shedding this historically and ecologically inaccurate perception of these unique ecosystems.